Hey guys, here is the video for the answers, corrections to our practice A.10E. Okay, number one, as you can see, this is a negative at the beginning. I put omit on here. The easiest way to do this would just be to distribute and find out what the answer is. I think it might be B, but let's just see. So here's the answers. And we are looking for something that equals negative 8x squared plus 22x minus 15. And let me put 2x minus 3 times 5 minus 4x, as they have these switched around. So anyway, so we're going to multiply 2x times 5, and that gives us 10x. Then we're going to multiply 2x times negative 4x, and that'll give us our negative 8x squared. When we go this way, we have a negative 15. And when we go this way, we have a negative times a negative gives us a positive 12x. We've never worked them this way, so that's why I said omit it. But now we put them in order, and we have negative 8x squared. Then we combine our x's, and we have plus 22x, and there's our negative 15. Okay, so like some said in Zoom, it is B. So number one is B. Number two, we need to find the rest of the equation for 6x squared minus x minus 12. I'm going to use the box method for this, and I know my product is going to equal 6 times a negative 12, which would be a negative 72x squared. Our sum is the middle, negative x, and let's make our box. I have 6x squared in the first box, negative 12 down here. And now I need to think of what times what is 72. When we subtract them, or when we add them, we get a negative 1. So let's see what we can do. I think it's 9 and 8, because 9 times 8 is 72. So we know 9 and 8 will give us our negative 1. We want to make the 9 negative, plus 8 will give us that. So now we know we have negative 9 and we have 8. And what can we factor out of here? We can factor out a 4. Here we can factor out a 3. This way we can factor out a 2. And this way we can factor out a 3. If this or this is negative, these are negative. And since they're not, we have our equation, which is 2x minus 3. Not our equation, but our factor of this equation, 3x plus 4. And the answer says, what goes with 2x minus 3? Well, 3x plus 4 goes with it. So your answer is J. So number 2 is J. Number 3, we'll speed it up, or this video is going to take forever. We need to factor this, 12x squared plus x minus 6. We know our product is going to be 12 times negative 6 will be another negative 72 x squared, and then our our sum is plus 1, plus x. So we know how to do this one as well. Box method, and we have 12x squared here, we have negative x here, negative 6 there. And we're looking for two numbers, which we already know them. It's going to be a 9 and an 8, and they need to equal 1. So we want the 9 to be positive, the 8 to be negative, and that will give us a 1. So we have a 9 and a negative 8. That's negative, so this will be negative, and we know it's going to be a 2. This side will be a 3, this side will be a 4, and this side will also be a 3. So we know our answer is 4x plus 3 times 3x minus 2. 4x plus 3 and times 3x minus 2, so number 3 is A. Number 4. Number 4, they want you to factor x squared plus x minus 6. Well, we don't need the box method for this because we can just figure out what it's going to be. So our product is going to be negative 6x squared. Our sum is just x. So what times what is negative 6? Well, we know a 3 and a 2 will do it. 3 and a 2. And we want the number to end up being positive, so it's going to be a positive 3 minus 2. So x plus 3, x minus 2 is your answer, which is F. Number 5. We need to factor 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. Our product is going to be negative 24x squared. Our sum is negative 2x. We're going to use the box method. And I have 3x squared and I have a negative 8. And I need to know what two numbers multiplied together equal 24, and when you add them, you will get a negative 2. So we know a 6 and a 4 would work. So a negative 6 plus 4 will give me a negative 2. So we have a negative 6, we have a plus 4, we can factor out a 4, we can factor out a 3, factor out a 1, and factor out a 2. That is negative. This is not. So we have x minus 2 times 3x plus 4 as your answer. So x minus 2, it's either A or B, and then 3x plus 4. So it is A. Okay, number 6. Find the factor. X squared minus 4x minus 21. Okay, we don't need the box. And we know our product is negative 21x squared and our sum equals negative 4x. So we need two numbers that equal 21, which would be 7 and 3. And we want it to end up with a negative number, so it's going to be negative 7 plus 3. So your answer is, for number 6, your answer is x minus 7, x plus 3, so it's J. We omitted 7, so 7 we don't do. Number 8, they want us to know what is the factor. They give you one side, you need to figure out the other. So I'm just going to write this down and do it this way, 7x minus 20. And I know my product is negative 60x squared, and I know my sum is going to be negative 7x. I'm going to draw my box. And I have 3x squared, and I have negative 20. What times what equals 20? Added together will give us 7. Well, we know, oh, I'm sorry, what times what is negative 60? Okay, because that threw me off. Negative 60, there, that's more like it. So we have 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 10, and that looks awesome, so I'm going to use that. We want it to equal negative 7, and if we have a negative 10 plus 3, we will get that. So we have negative 10, and we have a 3. That is negative, that is not. We can factor out a 1 here, also a 1 here, factor out a 3 that way and a 10 this way, and this becomes negative, this stays positive, and here's our x's. So we have 3x minus 10 times x plus 1. Well, that is interesting because they said one side is x minus 4. That's because I did not do it right, because it's not 3 times 10, it's 3 times 20. Okay, here we go, redo, let's keep going. 4 times 15, and that's not, we can't work with that. 5 times, what? 5 times 12, there we go. Sorry guys, this is why it's incorrect. So, let's draw another box. And we have 3x squared. We have our minus 20. Now we can do it. So we're looking for a negative 7. So we're going to have a negative 12 plus 5. Here we go, negative 12, sorry for that, plus 5. And we can factor out a 5. We can factor out a 3. We can factor out a 1. And we can factor out a 4. This is negative, so this is negative. Here's our x. Now we have the right answer, which is going to be x minus 4, which we have in the problem, times 3x plus 5. Okay, number 8. So number 8 is C. Number 10, we did not do. Number 11. Hey guys, I was told by one of our wonderful algebra students that number 11 is incorrect on the video. So here it is. Going to correct it as such. So number 11. We have 24x squared plus 5x minus 1. We know the product is going to be negative 24x squared. The sum is going to be 5x. I did have the numbers correct, but the sign's the wrong way, and that's what led us to the mistake. So you have to be careful, guys. I was going way too fast. So I'm looking for something multiplied together will give us a negative 24, and when added will give us a 5. So we know that 8 and 3 will do just that, and that will give us 5. And we want a positive 8 and a negative 3. So when we draw our table, we're going to have 24x squared, and we're going to have negative 1 here. We'll have 8 and negative 3. We know that we can factor out a 1 here. We can factor out an 8 here. This way we've got a 3, and this way we've got another 1. That is positive, and this is negative, so that becomes negative. So now we have 8x minus 1 times 3x plus 1. Therefore, your answer is 8x minus 1, 3x plus 1, which is J. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for watching. One of the factors of the following is 4x minus 1. Okay? So let's see what the other side is. So we have 8x, hope I don't mess up this time, 8x squared plus 18x minus 5. I know my product is negative 40x squared. I know my sum is 18x. Put the box here. And I have 8x squared minus 5. And I know I'm looking for what? Multiplied together is 40. Added is 18. So I think 2 times 20 would work. I think 20 and a 2 equals 18. So if we had a positive 20 minus 2, that would be our numbers. So we have a 20 and a negative 2. We can factor out a 1. We can factor out a 4. We can factor out a 2. And we can factor out a 5. So that's positive. This is negative. So like they said, for 12, they told us we have 4x minus 1 in the problem, and the rest of the solution is 2x plus 5. So your answer is A. Okay. Almost done. That was 12. Here we go, 13. Okay, so we have 25x squared minus 20x plus 4. And they're wanting to know, it looks like something times itself. So we're just going to do it in the same manner. 25 times 4 is 100. X squared, that's the product. And the sum is negative 20x. So let's see what we have. Here's our box, and we have 25x squared and 4. So what times what is 100? Added together is negative 20. $25 and 4, let's see, so 1 times 100 is 100, 2 times 50, 4 times 25. That won't work. 5 times 20. Let's see. Let me see the calculator. Oh, 10. Okay, 5. Let's see. We know 10 times 10. Sorry. Okay, that'll be it. That'll do it. And we're looking for a negative, so we need to have a negative 10 and a negative minus 10 will equal negative 20. So we have a negative 10 here, negative 10 there, and we can factor out a 2. We can factor out a 5. We can factor out a 5 this way, and we can factor out a 2 this way. And that's negative, and this is negative. So we know it's going to be 5x minus 2 times 5x minus 2, or in other words, 5x minus 2 squared. Okay? So your answer is H. Number 14, I said to try it, but factor out a 5. So we have 5x squared plus 20x minus 60. So they want you to factor out the 5. I won't take off, do not take off for this one because we've never done it in class. But if you remove a 5 from each one, we know this would become 5 times x squared is 5x squared. 5 times 4x is 20x. And 5 times 12 is 60. That's how you factor out something. And so now we can do the 2 parentheses, and we're going to get x and x. And it looks like a 6 and 2 would work. So we should have 5 x plus 6, x minus 6 times x plus 2. So we have our 5, and that's in all the answers. X minus 6 and x plus 2. So your answer would be A. Do not take off for that one. Number 15. Which of the following is a factor of 6x squared plus 13x minus 5? Well, we know the product is going to be 30x squared, negative 30x squared. The sum is 13x. Here's our box. And we have 6x squared minus 5. So, what times what is 30? When you subtract it, you get 13. That's going to be 15 and 2. So, positive 15 and a negative 2. That'll give you 13, a positive 13. So we have a 15 and a negative 2. We can factor out a 1. We can factor out a 3. We can factor out a 2 and a 5. That's positive. And this is negative. So we have 2x plus 5 times 3x minus 1. So 15 is, which of the following is a factor? So we have 2x plus 5. Well, it looks like they're both of them. Which of the following is a factor? We have 2x plus 5, which is f. And then we have 3x minus 1, which is h. So if you got both of them, count it correct. If you got either one of the two, count it correct as well. And the last one, number 16, is we have 6x squared minus 9x minus 15. And we need to, one of the lengths is 2x minus 5. So I wonder if they factored out a 3. I'm not sure. But here we go. 6 times 15 is, let's see, what number is that? 6 times 15 is 90. So we have a 90. Negative 90x squared is our product. Our sum is negative 9x. Here's our box. And we have a 6x squared, and we have a negative 15. What times what is 90? Added together is negative 9. And it looks like a, let's see. Let's see, 1 times 90, 2 times 45, 3 times 30. Let's see, 4. 4 doesn't work. 5 times 18, but that won't give us that. And here we go. 6 times 15 will work. So we have a 15 and a 6, and we want it to be negative, so negative 15 plus 6 will work. So we have negative 15, and we have a 6. We can factor out a 3. We can factor out a 3 here. We can factor out a 6 here, and a 15 here. So that's what makes me think that they factored out a 3, because I can see a 3 goes into all these. So this is negative. This is not. And so we're going to have 6x minus 15 times 3x plus 3. And so we can get our answer, and of course I don't want you to take this off. If they factor out the 3, you're going to get 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times 1 is 3. So that's what they did. They factored it out. Absolutely don't take off for 16 because we've not done it that way. And your answer is going to be, let's see, we have 2x minus 5, which is g. We also have x plus 1. Whoops, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong. Actually, they didn't do it this way.